Hello and welcome to the Autumn Skies and Pumpkin Pies Hop. We are hoping to bring the beautiful colors, smells, and feelings of autumn straight to your home or wherever you're joining us from. We will do so in the form of fabulous home decor. At the top of the description box, you will find the link to the next person in the lineup. I hope you take the time to watch all the hop videos because we love your comments and thumbs up. If you aren't already a subscriber, I hope you will consider subscribing and click on the little bell so you won't miss any of my uploads. You can also use #AutumnDeco to find all of the videos in this hop in order to maximize your chances of winning one of our grand prizes. Some of us might be offering prizes on our channels, so please be sure to pay attention to all the details. Please do check out my description box for all of the details. Enjoy! Let's start with making our background. What I have here is a piece of watercolor paper. It's a rather thick paper and it is slightly textured. I also have a bunch of Distress Oxide inks because what I'm looking for is a watercolor effect. And I have this stamp set called Autumn Splendor by Sunny Studios. I have both the stamps as well as the coordinating dies. And this is a layering set, but it's a different kind of a layering set because you have the base stamp and then you have half of that which you can stamp in a different color. So it gives a very nice two color effect when you finish stamping this. So these are basically the supplies I'm going to be using. So now let's move on to actually creating the background. Okay, now for the berries, what I'm going to do is, there are two berries and this is a stem which goes with the berries. So I will just take the stamps out. I'll just put this here so that I get a feel of where I need the stamping to happen. And just place them on top. And then carefully remove the plastic. Now let's start with the stamping. I have this large piece of watercolor paper here. It is slightly textured. It is larger than what I need because I thought I'll just trim it later. The largest set which I have are the berries, so I will start with that. I will take the orange ink. I'm using Distress Oxide inks because I'm doing a watercolor sort of an effect, and that you can do very well with Distress inks. Now the thing about Distress inks is when you stamp them on paper, they come out a little patchy, which is exactly the kind of effect I'm looking for. The idea here is you keep adding different colors and basically create a lovely background with all these nice autumn themed stamps. I'm just pretty much stamping randomly. I'm also starting my stamping from the center because a lot of times when creating such random backgrounds, what I've found is if you start at the sides, eventually you end up with a blank area in the middle, which doesn't look very nice. I will take this one more color, Twisted Citron, because I felt that we needed a slightly brighter color, a brighter green. I'm also taking care to go right up to the edges of the paper. Let's continue now. I'm going to take the smallest stamp and I'm just going to basically start filling up the spaces in the middle with this. Just keep turning your stamp so that the direction of the leaves is all different and it looks more natural. Then last tiny leaf that I'm going to use, and I'll use a brownish shade for that. Now once you're happy with your placement, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a spray bottle filled with plain water and I'm going to start spraying. Now, because these are distress inks, they are going to react to water and they are going to start spreading around, basically going wherever the water is taking them. And that is exactly the kind of loose watercolor look that I want. Now this thing is just, starting to curl up. So I have a very simple trick to handle that. What I'm going to do is just spray some water at the bottom, and then this will sort of just get stuck to it. Now I've sprayed a lot of water on this because I want a very watercolory kind of a look. You can decide how much water you want and then control it accordingly. Depending on whether you want less or more, you can just I'm going to let this sit for some time so that it dries on its own, because I really want the color to seep, and then I'll come back and do the second layer. Okay, now this watercolor paper that we've done has become slightly damp. It's not completely dry yet. You can see the beautiful watercolor effect that it is getting. Now what I'm going to do is just add some splatters on it. So for that I have this piece of acrylic which I like to use, and I will just take some distress ink, spray it with a little bit of water, then I'll just dip a brush in it, just start tapping. The reason why I'm using a damp paper is because I want the colors to again be a little diffused. And then now I'll let this dry completely, and then we'll come back and put more layers on it. Okay, now I've dried the paper. You'll notice that some of the stamps have become too light. That is not a problem. We can fix it pretty easily. So let me start with this stamp, the maple leaf. These are the areas where I had stamped it. So what I'll do is I'll re-ink this, and I'll just go and re-stamp in the areas. Now I don't again want to add tons of water to it. So there is an easy way of doing this. What I'm going to do is once I have stamped put the ink on the stamp, I will just hold it off camera, and I'll use a spray bottle and spritz the stamp lightly. Just 1 or 2 times. So this gives a very nice watercolory effect to it. There. If you want a bolder background, you can actually do the entire background like this instead of spraying it with a lot of water. Now the other the other stamp which disappeared was the berries. So those I will again now go back. I'll use an orange ink for those. I think I'll just put this aside for now and add a few more maple leaves. Okay, let's go with this now. We can always add more images, more stamping later. Okay, now I've put the second layers of all the stamps on the blocks. Now this set is a little different because what it has is, if you see, this is the base layer and the second layer is actually half of that. So it also makes the stamp set very easy to line up. So now let's start with this layer, which coincides with this flower, sorry, the leaf. And I will take the ink up the stamp. And see, it just gives a slightly darker color. If you want, you can also use this shade darker, but I think I'm going to go with the same ink this time. So you'll notice the second layer of the stamp goes very, very fast because there's not much to be aligned. I also have a little tissue paper handy, so whatever ink I'm getting, I'm just wiping it away because I don't really want it to stay in a place where I don't want any color. And there, that's the last of the leaf. You can see the extra color that this is adding. Let's move on to the purple now. Even if it doesn't align perfectly, it's okay because what we are going for is a very artsy look. And the last thing is the berries. The smaller leaves have only one silhouette, they don't have extra layers. So now what I'm going to do is I will start adding the stems. So now I have all the different stems on the blocks, and I have these two shades of brown distress inks. So let's start with the berry twig. I'll use the lighter of the browns for that. Once your stems are stamped, you can actually go back and add a few more leaves if you want. You'll notice that I haven't taken much care to make sure that my leaves don't overlap, because that is okay. That is a very natural look. I'll put this away, and now let's take the darker of the two inks. There, I've got all of them. And now with the really tiny leaves, I'm going for the lighter brown. This is Rusty Hinge. I just felt that, I didn't want them to be so dark. Okay, now our background is almost ready. I'm just going to add a few more of these tiny leaves in some of the blank spaces. And I'm going to be using the Twisted Citron. I had used this ink color before, but it sort of got completely washed out. So I think that will be a nice little pop of green in the card, in the background. If you want a more watercolor kind of look, you can also go right ahead and spritz some water on this after it is done, and simultaneously also use the Rusty Hinge and start putting the stems. And there, our pretty little background with the Autumn Splendor stamp set is done. I think I'll just add a few more leaves here and there. There. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is, add just few more splatters with some brown ink. Our background is now dry, and I have trimmed it into 6 inches by 6 inches a square because that is the size of the frame that I'm going to use. And now just one last thing which I want to do is I want to add some splatters of gold. So for that I have some basic acrylic paint. I'll just spray a little bit of water on my tile. I'll just mix the paint with the water. I don't want too many splatters, just a little bit of gold. I'll just allow this to dry. You can't actually see the splatters much, but they'll bring a nice little shimmer to the background once it's dry. Now to assemble the frame, I have the background. I have this frame which I'm going to be using, and this is a beautiful poem on the theme of autumn which my daughter has written. So I got my husband to handwrite it on a piece of vellum, and I've just put a little bit of heat embossed gold embossing powder on the sides. So now rest of the frame is very simple. All that I'm going to do is I'll take some glue and just put a little bit on the ends here. I don't want to put too much because the glue will show through the vellum otherwise. And I will just stick this. And put the ends. Let's just give it a few minutes to stick properly. Our autumn themed frame with a watercolor background is all ready. I hope you guys enjoyed this background technique for watercoloring and will definitely give it a try. I look forward to your comments on this video. And a special thanks to my daughter Sai, who wrote this beautiful poem titled Autumn, and my husband, who actually hand wrote the whole thing for me on vellum. Thank you guys, and I look forward to seeing you very soon on my channel again. Bye.